I am not one of those people who don't think that you should politicize things that happen in the world, particularly when they are a function of policy. I think there is a real lesson to be learned when, there is gun violence, let's say, and particularly, it makes sense to bring it up when people are paying attention to it. It wasn't until I heard that James Cameron clip that I thought like there was anything that would even remotely interest me about this submarine story, except for like, oh, these guys, wow, that must be, I'm glad it was an implosion as opposed to like the slow starving that they were contemplating so that these people didn't have to suffer. But when Cameron, talked about how this guy was like basically poo-pooing all of the certification and all of like the testing and
BBC has an article 1 hour ago. Titan sub CEO dismissed safety warnings as baseless cries. Emails show. Yeah.
And it's all just the establishment trying to, force their rules on us.
It's the woke deep sea exploration people.
Well, that's the thing is that like the idea, like, and I think that I think that connection of like the libertarian streak and the idea of like I can poo-poo expertise. I've done my own research. I know what's going on here. I don't have to listen to this huge body of evidence that and this institution of the submersible community or whatever it's called and their certification. I don't need to listen to that. I think talking about that within a political context is a little bit esoteric and a little ephemeral, but I do think there's something there. Charlie Kirk has stumbled on something that's far more concrete, he thinks, and that is, of course, it is that you didn't just have white guys work on this or steer the ship, and therefore, of course, it's going to crash. You think I'm kidding? Here is Charlie Kirk.
But this is an interesting piece of tape. The CEO of OceanGate, who I believe is in the submarine, they say that he hired younger, more inspirational people over experienced 50-year-old white guys. Other sub-operators typically have experienced ex-military 50-year-old white guys. I wanted our team to be younger, to be inspirational, because I'm not going to inspire a 16-year-old to technology. So one could make the argument that the CEO was promoting diversity and or irrelevant characteristics over merit. So this ties into a theme that we've been talking about, that we care more about merit than race. Makes you wonder. Play cut 50.
Yes, I mean, when I started the business, one of the things you'll find there are other sub-operators out there, but they typically have gentlemen who are ex-submariners, and you'll see a whole bunch of 50-year-old white guys. I wanted our team to be younger, to be inspirational, and I'm not going to inspire a 16-year-old to go pursue marine technology.
Again, I don't want to overly politicize it. That's the left's job. What the left did yesterday is they were saying, well, OceanGate has a history of donating to Republicans, as if that's like a super relevant thing, right? There are 6 people that are running out of oxygen, 13,000 surface, we think, and the Daily Beast sends out a story, but you have to know about their political donations. These people are repugnant, repulsive, and disgusting for publishing an article like that. It is, however, separate to say that, do you get your best in life?
All right,
do you
first
get
off,
excellence?
First off, okay, this moron. Put up a picture of the OceanGate CEO, who is a 50-year-old white guy.
Yeah.
Put up a picture of everyone else who's on the boat. Like, I guess maybe there's
Pakistani dad.
Yeah, one guy is Pakistani. The rest, as far as I can tell,
but this wasn't the operator. It's not like some POC submarine pilot got lost down there.
But also and put up some images of this, just so that we can just show like just how just absolute garbage Charlie Kirk is talking about. But the real reason why he didn't, those are the people there, a real sort of diverse crew of people. I mean, just crazy. So clearly, the reason why the guy didn't get a guy who had been involved in submarines in the past is probably because a lot of these people in the community had some serious misgivings about the safety of this vehicle. And it sounds more like this guy's trying to justify why he didn't have an experienced old hand, because a lot of those people are like, I'm not going on because of the safety concerns I have.
Yeah, right. And again, like this story, like, again, we haven't covered it until now because I think for a lot of your same reservations, Sam, but if this was the case of like James Cameron's type outfit where they are actually not cutting corners and bragging about how they're using a controller from 1998 and getting parts from and doing things with titanium and carbon fiber that you're not supposed to, but hey, we're innovators and I want to be remembered as an innovator, this wouldn't be the story that it is. But this guy decided to be cavalier about safety and killed a 19-year-old kid underneath the ocean.
Yep. Horrible. Meanwhile, it is sort of fascinating how much attention something like this gets relative to, hundreds of people dying at sea.
Right.
Because they, as refugees, essentially immigrants.
Yeah.
Or, do you know who else? Like 1.2 million people who died in this country over the past 2 or 3 years. It is sort of fascinating.